Hello, viewers. Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. I'm your host, CGO. Please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Thank you very much. Today, we'll be talking about games that were played in March day 14 of the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. We had the Swiss claiming top spot in Group B after defeating co-host nation Canada 2-1. The game was played at the BC Place in Vancouver, and it was an interesting game. The first half was a bit not that interesting like the second half, even though the Swiss dominated the game, but we didn't really see lots of fireworks in the first half, unlike in the second half. Now, second half, the Swedes were able to record their first goal in the encounter. It took about 40 seconds for Ruben Vargas to convert a cross from 20-year-old Johan Mazimbi. He made a cross, and then Ruben Vargas was able to convert that chance. And then in the 57th minute, Johan Mazambi doubled the lead for the Swiss after receiving a pass from Braille Mbolo. It was a very good one for the young man. He provided an assist and also scored a goal. And then in the 76th minute, Canada's super sub, Promise David, he came on just few moments. Just after he came on, he was able to get a brilliant cross from Nathan Saliba, and he was able to put the ball at the back of the net. So it was a very interesting game because towards the ending of the game, the Canadians added a lot of pressure. In fact, the goalkeeper of Switzerland, Gregor Kobel, was able to make two important saves to ensure that Switzerland win the counter against the Canadians, and then they finished top of the table. So Switzerland finished fourth with 7 points, while the Canadians finished with 4 points in second place. And then we also have Bosnia and Herzegovina also finished third with also 4 points. The Qatari team finished bottom of the table with just 1 point. So that was what happened between Switzerland and the Canadians. And then Bosnia defeated Qatar 3-1. The game was played at the Seattle Stadium, and it was a very important victory for the Bosnia and Herzegovina team because that would possibly take them to the round of 32. They were able to get their breakthrough goal through 18-year-old Kerim Alabegovic, who opened scoring for the team in the 29th minute with a spectacular strike from 20 yards. And he has made history as the country's youngest ever World Cup goal scorer, which is a good one for the young man. In the 34th minute, the Qatari conceded an own goal, making it 2-0 for the Bosnia and Herzegovina team. And then the Qataris were able to respond with a goal through Hassan El Hedos, who put one back for them in the 42nd minute. So it ended 2-1 at halftime. And then the Bosnia team brought in a substitute called Emin Mahmic, who was able to seal victory for them in the 80th minute when he scored a rebound inside the box to send the Bosnian supporters into a very wide celebration. So that is the outcome of the game between Bosnia and Qatar. So hopefully Bosnia will be playing in the round of 32. Then in Group C, the Brazilians, they showed their superiority over the Scottish team, defeating Scotland 3-0 at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The first goal was as a result of a defensive error from Scottish defender Scott McKenna. He made a blunder, and Vinicius Junior took advantage of that, and then he was able to put the Brazilians ahead uh, in the 7th minute. And then 3 minutes into injury time, and in the first half, uh, Vinicius Junior got his brace, scoring with an header. I think a cross from Guimarães. He was able to convert that, and it was 2-0 for the Brazilians before halftime. And then in the 60th minute, Matheus Cunha was able to seal victory, scored the third goal for the Brazilians, getting an assist from Bruno Guimarães. So the game ended 3-0 in favor of the Brazilians. So very disappointing one for Scotland. Now they've lost, I think, 4 World Cup games to the Brazilians. I think they've met 5 times at the World Cup now. The first time they met was in 1974. That game ended in a draw. And then they both sides met in 1982, 1998, and now 2026. On these 4 occasions, Brazilians won. So the Scottish doesn't have good record against the Brazilians. In fact, when you look at games they've even played in friendlies, total times they've now played together is 11 times. The Brazilians have won 9, and then 2 only ended in a draw. So that is full superiority the Brazilians have showed against the Scottish. But there was one significant thing that happened that made a lot of Brazilian fans very excited. It was the coming in of Neymar. Neymar was brought into the team game that was in the 76th minute. Remember, he has just recovered from a calf injury, and that's why he has not featured in the first 2. That was why he didn't feature in the first 2 games of the Brazilians in this World Cup. So, very good one for Neymar that is back. Hopefully, he'll be able to help the team in this competition. So, very happy that Neymar is back, and I'm sure a lot of Brazilians are very excited about that. So, Brazil finished top of Group C with 7 points. They have better goal difference than the Moroccans. And there's one other thing that I will need to tell you, viewers, is that the 7 goals the Brazilians have scored in this competition were scored by 2 players. 4 was scored by Vinicius Junior, and 3 by Martins Cunha. So Vinicius Junior scored 1 against Morocco, scored 1 against Haiti, and then scored 2 against Scotland. Then for Martins Cunha, he scored 2 against Haiti, and then scored 1 against Scotland. So that is it for the game between Brazil and Scotland. And then the Haiti team played against Morocco. They were able to get their first ever World Cup goal in 52 years, because their first appearance at the World Cup was in 1974. Since 1974, they've never been to the World Cup until 2026. So they were able to get their first goal. But their first goal was an own goal from Yasin Bono, even though Lenny Josephs did a kind of a back heel flick. But at the end of the day, that goal was counted that it was an own goal by Yasin Bono, because he redirected the ball into his own net. So that is Haiti's first ever goal at the World Cup. So they scored 1-0, and then that was in the 10th minute, and then in the 39th minute, Morocco were able to get an equalizer through Paris Saint-Germain defender Ashraf Hakimi, who is also the captain of the team. He was able to get the equalizer for Morocco, and then in the 43rd minute, the Haiti team went ahead again through Sunderland striker Wilson Isidore. He scored a very brilliant goal, a 31-yard strike into the top left corner. That was a brilliant goal from Wilson Isidore. I was very impressed with the way I played in this game. Compared to the other games, the first 2 games that he played in, this has been his best in this competition. So 1 minute into injury time in the first half, Morocco were able to get an equalizer through Ismail Saibari. He scored, and it was 2-2. And what it means is that Ismail Sabari has scored in each of the games Morocco has played at this World Cup. In the first game against Brazil, he scored a goal. And then against the Scottish, he scored the goal that gave Morocco victory against Scotland. And then he scored a goal also in this particular encounter. And then in the second half, we had the Moroccans scoring 2 goals in the 78th minute through Rahimi, and then in the 89th minute, they also scored another goal. So that was a very good one for the Moroccans. But at the end of the day, they finished second because they had an inferior goal difference compared to the Brazilians. So what it means is that the Moroccans will play the winner or the team that finished top in Group F. And that's the group where we have the Netherlands. So that's what will most likely happen. Netherlands is finished top of that group, but we'll wait to see what happens. And then in the game between Czech Republic and Mexico, the Mexicans, despite the fact that they made a lot of changes in their squad, they didn't start most of their main players in this encounter. They still ended up getting victory against Czech Republic. They won by 3 goals to nothing, and then they made history for themselves. This is the first time that the Mexicans will be getting a perfect 9 points at the World Cup. So the country has never achieved that before. So this is the first time they were able to achieve that feat, which is quite commendable for the team. They they got their goal through 22-year-old Matteo Chavez. I gave the team the lead in the 50th minute. And then Julian Quinn Nunes was able to give them the second goal. And then during the stoppage time, that was 94th minute, Alvaro Fidalgo was able to blast a rocket into the top left corner to give the Mexicans a convincing 3 goals to nothing victory. But there was one significant thing that happened in this particular encounter. The guy they call Guillermo Ochao, that's the 40-year-old goalkeeper of the Mexicans. He was subbed into the match today, and the fans, they gave him a standing ovation. This is the sixth World Cup is attending, but the issue is that on those 6 World Cup, he was only active in 4. The first World Cup he attended was in 2006 in Germany. It was just it was more like a third choice in 2006. And then in 2010 in Germany, he also served as a backup goalkeeper. He had 0 games. Then in 2014, played in the 4 games the Mexicans played in. And 2018, he played all the 4 games. 2020, he played 3 games. And then 2026, he has played 1 game. So he has played a total of 11 games in 4 tournaments, apart from the 2 where he was just a backup goalkeeper. So this is his World Cup appearance, but he was only active in 4 editions of the World Cup. So congratulations to Guillermo Ochao. Very, very proud of the guy. So we look at the game between South Africa. South Africa was one team that surprised everyone. Everyone underrated them after they lost their opening game to Mexico. But they played against the South Koreans, and the South Koreans, they shocked the South Koreans, defeating South Korea 1 goes to nothing at the Monterrey Stadium, finishing second behind Mexico. So South Africa has qualified for the knockout stage for the first time in their history. So this is a very good one for South Africa. The goal was scored by Tapelo Maseko. He was the one who scored that decisive goal in the 63rd minute. What happened is that even when you look at the way the South Koreans approached the game, they took the South Africans for granted, not knowing that the South Africans were very, very prepared for this encounter. I didn't see that sense of urgency the way the South Koreans were playing. They were so relaxed the way they approached this game. The South Africans showed aggression, they showed intensity, they were even pressing so well in this game. They showed that they really needed the win. And at the end of the day, it paid off because the opportunities were coming, but they couldn't get the goal on time. But fortunately for them, in the 63rd minute, they were able to get that goal through Tapelo Maseko. And it was a very good one for the South Africans, getting victory and then securing qualification to the next round of the competition. Hugo Bros must be very, very proud of himself and the players because they really put in a lot of effort in this particular game, which is a very good one. So, that's a nice one for the South Africans. I think they will be facing Canada at the Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles on Sunday, June 28th, in the round of 32. That's the opponent they will be playing. And I feel they have a chance in that game. So the team has really improved after they lost that first game to Mexico. So very good one for South Africa. Congratulations to them for qualifying for the first time to the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup. So that is much to be talking about on the show. If you want to give your own comments, you want to give your own thoughts on games that were played on March day 14 of the FIFA World Cup, please feel free to do so. Put your opinion on the comment section, and that will highly be appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a wonderful time. Bye for now.